Hey, how's it going, team? I hope everyone is doing very, very well. This guy is. Yeah, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. This was sent to me by Show Z recently, and that's Magic Square Soundwave, of course. And yeah, I just wanted to wish everyone a happy, happy day or happy evening or wherever this finds you in space time. I figure I don't greet y'all enough these days, and so just kind of wanted to say hi and just make sure everyone's doing all right. And if you're not doing all right, I sincerely hope that your life is on a trajectory where things can improve, that you are taking action or someone else is taking action or something's moving, something's moving and positive vibes are coming your way. I really do hope so because that's what I wish for myself, right? Those are the kind of waves that I would want in my life. And so I hope the same goes for you, yeah? Alrighty, friends. This is Soundwave, like I said. And, these reviews have been done over and over. I feel like this might be the third iteration of when Magic Square has released this character. And it's a very nice character, has some unique transformation bits about it. He comes with this nice little instruction set. It is nice enough, but I will say I had some difficulty following along. I'm not that great at following instructions. It kind of messes with my brain sometimes. The more complicated it is, the more I just kind of want to rage quit. And so I followed some videos from Kato's collection. And so, what up, Kato? And that helped me through some troubling times while I transformed him. And yeah, he comes with a nice little card. And excuse me. And he comes with a bunch of little like vanity hands, and most of them are like pointy hands, pointy fingers and stuff. If you're wondering why my voice kind of sounds like this, is I mentioned that I have an injury that I'm maintaining right now, and I got some new medicine. And yesterday was the first time that I was actually able to like sleep properly. And so I'm kind of groggy, but in a good way groggy because I got to sleep really deep. Oh, I was going to say, this was also sent to me by Shozi, but this is going to be part B of the video. And so in today's video, we're just going to focus on the man himself. Voice Ripple. Voice Ripple, Magic Square. All right, that wasn't very good. But yeah, that's him over here. This is the alt mode, and actually, this is a bit deceptive in that he's pretty wide. He's pretty wide, excuse me, when you look at him sideways, but nonetheless, it's a fun character. And so, why don't I just start going through the transformation, and maybe I'll just tell you a little story about me and Soundwave. So back before the no, I was kidding. Yeah, I was gonna say back before the war. But yeah, me and Soundwave, we have some history just in terms of like my personal life, and that Soundwave was the first Transformers branded Transformer that I owned. I had like Reflector previously, but it was like the Diaclone version, and I had other Diaclone toys as well. So you can see, by the way, that I'm just popping his head back. Oh, I was gonna say, before we do all of that, let me just point out a couple of things about Robot Mode that I like and don't like. For a Magic Square product, I was gonna say there's a decent amount of paint on him, like where it needs to be, and so yeah, he definitely looks the part. Some areas that I don't like, I don't know if you could see it, but he has this like neck stalk that's really thin. And I get it, his head needs to bend back and stuff, but just seeing that really like thin post kind of as the neck, somewhat bothers me. But it's not too hateful because you don't see it like too much and stuff. And as far as articulation goes, yeah, this is a little bit loose. I wish he wasn't so loosey goosey bending backwards. Doesn't have an ab crunch going forward, from what I can tell, or slight, slight. There's another joint back here that allows that. Um, but he has all the typical like range of motion that you would expect out of like modern day toys, and that's why I don't like gloss over it like too much unless it's like a really big hindrance that he can't do something. But yeah, but these days, all the toys, like their design philosophy, whether it be first party or third party, all seems to incorporate tilt, bend, potentially even double bend sometimes, especially in the case of Soundwave where he has to press his little button. The button doesn't do anything, it's just aesthetics. You just kind of like pop that out. And the tapes as well. The tapes are quite large. You put them in there and then you just got to pop them out with your finger. But he doesn't have a forward butterfly, kind of a back one due to transformation and stuff. But yeah, overall, all the great stuff. Everything is like a little masterpiece in terms of masterpiece figure in terms of articulation and stuff, right? And so, excuse me. And yeah, so another thing I dislike about him, as I mentioned, he's a little bit wide, but and I don't know if it's because they wanted to include the weapon storage in the transformation, which is part of the gimmick, and I think is very cool. But yeah, neither here nor there. And then he has a faux, what is it? like button plate and stuff. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying about Soundwave is, yeah, he was my first branded transformer, and I've had non-branded transformers before, but yeah, he was the first one, and I got him at Toys R Us in the great state of California. Well, it's still great, but man, California's kind of falling apart. In a city called Mountain View, and let's see, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, this has to come forward. He has some really cool things in that he has 3 levels of like waist spinning. One part is to get this skirt back there, and the other part is to bring this skirt forward, and then the other part is this, and of course he has the full Zangief when he needs to spin his waist and stuff. But yeah. So with my family, when we touched down in San Francisco, like, you know, we didn't have no funds, we didn't have no nothing, and so we were hanging out at my aunt's place, and so my uncle, her husband, so is not a relative by blood. But by the way, you ever have like relatives who aren't your blood relatives, but they're super tight with you? You know what I'm saying, dude? You're just like, man, this person's a good dude, whether they're related by blood or not. They're just a good dude or a good lady, you know what I mean? And so this guy's a good dude, and he's still a good dude, and he's one of my favorite uncles, blood related or not. And he sorry, I'm trying to remember how this goes back here. But yeah, we were out, and then we were chilling and stuff. And oh yeah, it's gonna close up like that. That's right. We were out and we were chilling, and we're just doing errands. You know, we're just doing errands, and I don't know what prompted him to take me, or if I wanted to go with him or something. But yeah, we're just running errands, and we stopped at this. I don't know if y'all got like Asian grocery stores in your area, but it was like a small convenience store type thing, and I don't know if it was Japanese, but I know they sold Japanese like products there, because they had little capsule. I remember seeing Optimus Prime in the capsule form. You know, those like quarter machines before Optimus Prime was Optimus Prime over here. And by the way, there's something really cool that's going to happen. Is see all these like bits over here? They're going to come out, and you're going to see it's going to line up flush. And so there's some really interesting things. So I'm trying to get the foot back here, and then I'm going to bend the toe down, so you can see already that this is lining up flush, right? And that's really nice. And then from here, you got to kind of like pull this up. You see that? And then I unlocked that tab from that slot, and that's going to move down into that slot there. And then what you want to aim to do is see this back part. You're going to aim to get this all flush, and there you go. You see how that went in? That's nice, man. That's really, really clean. And so from the engineering perspective, like, kudos. I really, really like that a lot. But anyway, yeah, we went to that Japanese store, and there was this like, it was some type of toy. It was a construction vehicle. It looked like the vehicle that turns into Scrapper, right? But it was clearly like a child's toy, and it came with like candy and and all that stuff. And me just being like the sneaky kid that I was like, hey, bro. I mean, I didn't call him bro, but I was like, hey, uncle. I was like, yo, since I'm new to these parts, why don't you hook me up? Why don't you buy this for me, dude? And then I remember he looked at me and he kind of laughed. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I got this fool, dude. I was like, why don't you hook it up, dude? I was like, why don't you buy me this thing? And then he just laughed, and without hesitating, he was like, sure, man. I mean, I have no idea how much that thing cost, dude, but it was some like, it was some kids thing, you know? Hold up, I'm trying to remember what goes. Oh, yeah, this starts popping up, and then this flap is going to come out too. This flap, interestingly enough, see that little gap right there? That's going to be for like that. And I don't know if I flip it out now or later, but anyway, I'm just going to rotate the legs. And I'm going to bring this up, and everything's going to tab in. The shin part, that's going to tab right over here. Nice, right? And, oh, before I do that, I'm going to keep this out because I'm going to need to plug in the blasters and stuff. And so, yeah, I was like, yo, why don't you buy me that thing, dude? Because I'm new here. You know, why don't you hook it up, dude? And he laughed. And this is a little kid, like, trying to manipulate this adult. And, like, I'm not even, like, begging him or asking him. I'm trying to manipulate him. I'm like, bro, I'm new here. Come on, dog. And that tells you, I guess, what type of character I am. And this pushes back. There we go. I think this just plugs in right there. Yeah. And then so he got me that toy, and I played with it, and it was a transforming toy too, but it was like really basic. Just think of it like one of those like kids toys, right? Like those really, really basic children's transformers. Just think of it that way, like one of those play school stuff or something. And it was cool, dude, but I knew it was super bootleg at the same time, you know, and I was just like, yeah, I just want this fool to buy it for me. And then later in the evening, after we'd had dinner, he's like, hey, we're gonna go somewhere. The whole family, we're gonna go somewhere. And then I was just like, okay. And they took me to Toys R Us, dude. And rest in peace, Toys R Us, because it's not around anymore, you know. But like, or it is in Canada, I guess, in other parts of the world. But in the U.S., TRU is RIP. And yeah, they took me to Toys R Us. And dude, it blew my mind, right? I mean, I love going to toy stores even right now. Like, I love going to Target. I just love just seeing toys. I don't care what type of toys. Even at Dollar Trees, I'm just in the toy section. Hey, hold on for a second, all right? Sorry, I was getting super froggy. I had to drink some tea right now, and I'm still froggy. But yeah, they took me to Toys R Us. And you know what? While I tell the rest of the story, before I tell the rest of the story, this is him in his alt mode. And you see what I'm saying about he's like a little thick. A little thick. I feel like he should have been like that at most, right? That's what I'm thinking. It's just a little bit, just this little bit extra over here just makes me feel like he's a little thicker than he actually needs to be. Makes me feel more boxish than rectangular, and I'm not sure they did that to hide the blasters, but like I said, they do a convincing job of it. And for some reason, this area is raised, and because of that, I guess that's kind of cool from like a breakdancer perspective. But yeah, so he doesn't sit flat on the ground. And if you wanted to open this chest, you just kind of pull that part out, and you can see his peekaboo face in there. But overall, this is a pretty nice toy, dude. Overall, it's a very, very nice toy. More than pretty nice, actually. Nice paint. I mean, yeah, it's the same matte. One second, okay? Sorry, savage burp. Yeah, it's the same type of matte vinyl plastic that Magic Square has, and the reason why it always feels cheap to me, it reminds me of the plastic that they use in like Cracker Jack toys or like Kinder eggs. You know what I'm talking about? But neither here nor there. Their stuff is good. It's very high quality, and I think this toy is well designed and quite fun. And so yeah, so finishing on my story is I'm gonna start showing you guys this, and maybe I'll start the second video, maybe I won't, but yeah. So they took me to Toys R Us. And I was just blown away. I was just so blown away. And they took me to the toy aisle, and I eventually found my way to the Transformer section, right? And of course, mind blown just seeing all those toys and stuff. I had seen Diaclone before at my buddies' places, but like, I don't know. I'd never really I'd never seen Soundwave before, actually. And so I'd seen Sideswipe and like Ironhide, and by the way, dude, these guys are not very convincing as tapes. Like this one is, and they're flat enough. Like you can see sideways, but like some of them are chunk, dude. Like, well, maybe not super chunk, but man, Ravage is not convincing as a tape at all, dude. He just looks like this little like dog robot thing or cat cougar robot in like some crazy origami contortionist stance. Same thing goes for Rumble as well. It doesn't really look like a tape. It just looks like some friend who's good at origami. I will say, not origami. What did I just say? Contortionist, excuse me. But yeah, in this origami thing, I will say what's cool about them is that they all have like weapon storage. Yeah, Laserbeak transforms like the Masterpiece Laserbeak does. These you do have to pop off, but they store here, and these they are natively on him, so that's pretty wild, right? And then you got the boom boom things over here. And too bad there's no Frenzy over here. That's a disappointment, you know? And I think the original kit, perhaps these guys all came together. And so I'm not sure why it's separate. Anyway, I could be wrong. But yeah, he took me to the toy section. I saw Soundwave, and I was so blown away by its size, and also that he came with Buzzsaw. And so that was the first, and I picked it up, and like I felt so like oh, by the way, it comes with this additional Soundwave hand accessory. His little, whatever that is, his fire extinguisher or something. So that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, I was so like sheepish and kind of like embarrassed that, you know, his intention had been to hook me up all along. but I was like trying to manipulate him to buy me that cheap transformer, which he did. But of course, he was like, hey, pick one of these things, just buy whatever you want. And of course, I bought Soundwave because I was amazed at everything that I saw. And he didn't say anything about like, the incident earlier. But in my mind, like even though I was like 6 or something like that, like I was well aware. I was like, oh, I feel the fool right now, dude. I feel quite the fool. But yeah, dude, he always loved me, continues to love me, and he's like a great dude. So shout out to my Uncle Aaron out there. And yeah. And so that's kind of like my story with Soundwave. And I remember clutching Soundwave, going to sleep, and we were just sleeping on the ground basically because it's my aunt's place. And like I said, we had just immigrated over here, and or to California at least. And I remember clutching him, holding him on the ground, and oddly enough, just because I'm on the ground, looking at the space beneath the bed and hiding him there. I don't know whose bed that was, but yeah, maybe that was my uncle and aunt's bed or something. But yeah, I just remember hiding him there, basically, like not wanting any harm to come to him, and then going to sleep. And yeah, that's my first memory of my first actual branded transformer, and it's a very warm and poignant one that I hold on with me to this day. And so thanks for watching while I shared that with y'all. And I'm kind of waking up now. I can hear myself and my voice kind of regaining composure or whatever. But yeah, Magic Square's Voice Ripple. And this was sent to me once again by my great sponsor, ShowZstore.com. Please support them. They support me. I support you. We'll have a good time. Okay. Take care, friends.